U.S. Army Japan recently hosted bilateral interpreter training for 6 technical reserve candidates from the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force's 117th Training Battalion. The training was meant to familiarize the JGSDF members with U.S. Army Japan and its missions while enhancing their communication skills.
We actually have performed this kind of training for the last 10 years. We do this 3 times a year, and we set this up in such a way as the interpreters get to interact with some of the U.S. Army Japan interpreters to see some of the things that they'll experience.
To kick off the training, each JGSDF participant introduced themselves and talked about when they first became interested in learning English, as well as their past and current working experience. Then they received a briefing and were able to gain insight from and ask questions of Yoshiki Kobayashi, an interpreter assigned to U.S. Army Japan's G5 9's Language Support Division. They also received a briefing from Master Sergeant John Marquardt, the Operations Non-Commissioned Officer for U.S. Army Pacific, on the mission and duties of active duty and reserve linguists in the Army. Additionally, they took part in a practical exercise in which they translated text from the sequence of events section of a ceremony program.
I learned that translation and interpretation require a lot of studying and researching in advance of actually doing it. So today's training was very beneficial for me.
Today I was able to learn the importance of being flexible when doing translation. I will keep working hard to practice my English and Japanese. I hope that one day I can be a bridge between the two nations by translating at bilateral exercises and helping to avoid any miscommunication they might face.
Colonel Metzel agreed, saying that translators are vital for both U.S. Army Japan and the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force to become more familiar with each other and get to know their counterparts better.
I want the soldiers here recognizing just how important their role is to interoperability between the JGSDF and the U.S. Army Japan. It may seem a small thing, but language and interpreter skills are the very foundation for interoperability.
Reporting for U.S. Army Garrison Japan, I'm Kevin Kraitzarek.